in-network marketing is probably the most quickest way to reach your lifestyle that you want, but at the same time, sometimes can be the most hardest way when people when you're not sure what you're saying and what you're doing, and people just cannot understand what you're trying to sell. Another thing that I want to talk about in the network marketing, and first of all, actually, what I want to do is I want to actually help you guys understand. So before I help you guys understand, I want you guys to grab a piece of paper and write down a dollar amount that you need to make a year in order to have your life in a way that you want. What is it? 100,000, 500,000, a million, 5 million, 20 million, whatever that amount is in a dollar in a year, in order for you to have the lifestyle that you want to have. Whatever it is, write that down. Now, we're going to build this around that number. So what I'm going to ask you, is there a way for you to achieve that lifestyle, let's say in 2 years or 1 year, achieve that dollar amount of income, what you're already doing? It might be a job. It might be a small business that you're doing, whatever it is. And whatever you're doing, if it's not achievable, then make sure you actually mark it and say, hey, this is no way for me to get there with what I'm doing. So if it's a job, definitely job not going to get you there, guys. If it's a small business, let's say a self-proprietorship, a small business, you're not going to get there. Making 1 million or 2 million a year, guys. That's a fact. Very, very few. Look at the attorneys. Do they have $1 million lifestyle? No, they don't. Yes, they're charging $200, $300, $400 an hour, but maybe only 0.5% of them that actually has the $1 million lifestyle. Rest of them do not. So as a small business, you're not going to get there. So next you want to ask yourself a question. The company I am in, will that company allow me to get there? Because right now, remember, all network marketing companies offer you to own a huge business. Remember that for the squares that I actually do, the 4 squares that I show quadrant in the beginning of presentation? We have a employee, self-employed, a business, and investor. Business allows you, any network marketing company allows you to have a big business. What does that really mean? That means you build a team, and that team goes out and does continue to duplicate itself. And as it duplicates, your team grows, and because your team grows, it slowly increases your income. So those of you that are new to network marketing, that is the best thing that can happen to you, because you can create a huge business for small dollar amount. That's only available in network marketing. A lot of the time people say, oh, is this network marketing? Is this a pyramid? Is this this or that? Guys, no matter what you guys would call this, no matter how you guys would like to get away or brace that those rejections, in a day, if you guys do not understand what type of business you're in and how easy it is for you to achieve the lifestyle that you want to have, you're just not going to be able to properly respond to those questions. So first of all, I want you guys to understand that when we are in network marketing, we're taking advantage of not putting down millions of dollars, but having a business that's worth millions of dollars. Here's another part is that I always say is, you can build a network marketing business. And I know a lot of people that build businesses, but they're sitting in one company, holding all their eggs in one basket. Again, every person's is their personal choice. But I always say, do not hold your all eggs in one basket. Make sure you have at least 2, 3, 4 forms of income. So if one of those baskets is in danger and something happens to it, You always are taken care of, and you do not start stress, and you do not start over. I know people that were making 1 to 2 million a year in network marketing. The first company that I seen where actually people were making millions of dollars was Excel Communications from I think it was like 90. No, it was not 90. It was actually in the beginning of 2000s, if not late 1998, 99. I think it was at the beginning of 2000. And actually, no, 2000, I was already, whatever it is. So it was over 20 years, 24, 25 years, somewhere in that frame, where Excel Communication. And I got in, and I seen a couple guys were making millions of dollars. And one day the company stopped paying out. They just folded. And when the company folded, I seen, especially these guys that were making a huge amount of money, they were panicking. They were going crazy. One of them even jumped off of a bridge. So that's why when I look at life, I always look and I say, hey, what can I do to always be protected? To always be safe? Because, when you're talking about $3,000, I understand it's a lot easier to replace the $3,000, go get a job. But when you got used to a $1 million lifestyle, guys want to understand. I sold a company 4 years ago for $4 million. Do you guys will think that I was taken care of? I was taken care of. I was great. During COVID, guess what? Banks lost that money. And when banks lost that money, and for me, it was kind of shocking. I came to Walmart and I was trying to pay for groceries, and my card is bouncing. My bank card is bouncing. So I eventually came home without groceries, and I go online to check my balance, and I see my account is at zero. This was shocking to me. In minutes, my whole life stood in front of me. Some people say when you die, the life all your life goes. Yeah, it's the whole life just stood in me, because that minute is where I was prepared to enjoy my life, not to work for the next, I don't know, 10, 15 years, and actually just do what I love. And that minute is actually, I need to start over. I don't even have $1 to start a new business. That means I have to literally go get a job, and the job is not an option because I'm not employable. When you have most of your life as you spend as a business owner, you're no longer unemployable. So who's gonna hire somebody to get replaced into a management position? Nobody. So I realized I have to go and become self-employed and start driving as a taxi driver, food delivery, and slowly get my feet back up and start over, guys. So that is actually my story, and always think and make the right decisions for yourself. But end of the day, do what you can to not end up like I did. So now when I work with multiple companies. I don't work with one company anymore. So let's start with our training, and I have to kind of went through a little bit, kind of explain to you guys that network marketing is the alternative to a big business where anybody can come in and anybody can do it. And in some companies, it takes months. In some companies, might take 1 or 2, 3 years, but you can easily build that lifestyle that you deserve. Easily have and enjoy the life instead of. But again, when you enjoy that life, build that alternative as well. So the number one rejection, and actually we'll actually proceed where we're going to actually not just I'm going to talk, but I'm going to actually ask you guys, and I want you guys to get involved in the conversation. So the first rejection we have on the list is no money. And I want to see hands. It would be nice if you guys could turn on the cameras. How many of you guys have seen situation where you called the person, you presented them, they seen the video, they loved it, or maybe they didn't love it, and the first answer is, I don't have the money. It's $100 to start. It's $25 to start. It's $500 to start. It's $1,000 to start. It's $10,000. I have no money. So, what do you guys say when somebody responds, I have no money? I had a situation where somebody said to me they have no money, and I personally approached them differently. And this is actually personally my personal opinion from ways usually people respond. Okay, you have no money. For how long have you been in the situation that you have been having no money? Has it only happened in the last month? Was that for the last 6 months? Was that for the last 5 years? Or that's since you started working as became an adult and started working? For how long you had no money? Because you guys have to understand, there's one of the two reasons person's telling you. Either they truly have no money, or actually 3 reasons, or they came up with an excuse because they did not understand what you're offering, so they don't see value in what you offered, or 3, they just want to get you off the phone. And the 5 other guys that called them and offered them a business, and they said they have no money, it worked, so it should work this time as well. So when you ask them a question, you kind of, shock them a little. So why are you saying you have no money? For how long? How long you had no money? Because I tell you guys this: very rare situations people might not have money, but in most situations, people did not see a value in what you offer them. So let's put it this way: if you're offering me a 2024 Mercedes that's worth $100,000, and you're offering me for $2,000, but I don't understand it's a Mercedes, I don't understand it's a 2024, and then as you were offering to me, and I'm like, you're trying to sell me a 40-year-old Geo Metro for $2,000? No, I'm not interested. I have no money here. I'm not spending $2,000 on an old Geo Metro. But I'm thinking that. I'm not telling you that. So the question becomes, does the person understand what you just offered and the value of what you offered? But if you never ask and you say, oh, no money, okay, done, move on to the next person, and just got him off the list, pretty sure you will go through the list of 100 people, and every single one will come up with some kind of excuse, and you'll say, you know what, I just called 100 people, none of them signed up. Okay, why they have not signed up? No, they all said no. They also had no money. They either said that this is a pyramid. Some of them said this is never marketing. Some of them said they have no time. Some of them just hanged up on me. Some of them didn't even answer the phone and just sent me a text message, not interested. So the question is, why? So when a person try to respond and give us a reason, we want to understand a reason why. So when they're saying there is no money, we ask him why, how long that situation was. After understanding a time frame, let's say maybe something happened yesterday and they had to spend everything. So they truly have no money, but right now you do clearly understand they're interested, but we might have to wait a couple days or maybe a week. But in some case, they might say, hey, I have not been having money since I started working. Okay, now we're having a situation where they're having money. And I'm going to prove it to you guys that they do have money in that case scenario. But they just don't have the money for your business because they don't understand it. And here's actually the proof. There's a certain dollar amount that person needs in order to exist. In order to pay for their living, that means for their rent or their mortgage, electric bill, water bill, trash bill, sewer bill, whatever, those basic bills. Their cell phone bill, their grocery bill, and of course, grocery bill actually part of 2 categories, if you guys really look at it. Stuff that they really need to survive, and stuff to enjoy their pleasure, to pleasure themselves. So do they really need chocolate? But when they buy chocolate, it's no longer because they really need to survive. They buy chocolate because because they want to feel the enjoyment of that food. So you guys want to understand. So every time when the person spends money on enjoyment, when they have a full closet of clothes, but they say they have no clothes, they're fulfilling their enjoyment. They want to enjoy life. When they're going out to eat at a restaurant, instead of cooking themselves, it's an enjoyment. So there's a category of money that the person spends that falls under enjoyment. That's usually about a third of their paycheck. So you guys can say, wow, third of a paycheck? For somebody who's making $3,000, it's about $1,000. For a household that makes $6,000, that's between $1,500 to $2,000 that a family spends on enjoyment spendings. So when people spend on enjoyment, they're going to spend that money anyway. And welcome to our call today. So when those people spend those money on enjoyment, they're going to spend it with somebody. So you want to ask yourself a question. If I can offer them better and give them a more enjoyment from my offer than from somebody else's, why they would not come and buy it from me? Why would they not get that enjoyment from me? See, a lot of people scared of is this. I don't want to offer something because it sounds scary. Oh, I'm going to take their money and they're not going to have enough money to put food on the table. Guys, very few people in a situation where they're actually in this existing mode. Majority people have a small cushion that they spend on enjoyment every single month. And the only question is, they'll still spend those money. The only question is, will they spend it with you or someone else? So when they could spend it with someone else, that's the reason why they're not spending with you. But if you program it in your mind that I'm calling Tom, and this month Tom going to spend with me $200 or $350 or $380, whatever that the dollar amount is, or $500, and you have that programmed in your mind and you're calling with that attitude that this month I'm going to offer him the best thing in the world. So how can you offer somebody the best thing in the world? One of the two things. Either finding out what hurts and see how your offer can solve their pain, or find out their dream and see how you can help them achieve their dream faster through your offer. That's why when you get a person on the phone, you try to understand what hurts or what their dreams are. Now, if I get on a three-way call with somebody and somebody brings me in on a three-way call, their job is to sell me up as a person that changed lives for hundreds of people. The most busiest person and don't have time to speak to anybody. But I will allow them, because of a very close friendship to that person that they put in this three-way call, because of the very close friendship, I am only doing a favor and I'll talk to that person for about 3 minutes. So they're not going to sell me for a half an hour conversation. They're going to sell me for 3-minute conversation. They're all going to make sure that that person will be available on that phone call at dedicated time. They will also understand that my call can come in half hour earlier or up to half hour late because I'm a busy person, and they'll have to adjust to my availability when I will create that 3-minute phone call for them. So when I come in on a phone call, guess what? I'm no longer introducing myself. I'm no longer convincing them that I'm going to change their life. I'm no longer trying to convince them that I'm actually capable to change their life, because already somebody who actually putting this phone call together for me, they already did all that for me. My job is very simple. It's to arrive and immediately figure out where is the pain or what is their dream. So when I actually start a phone call, and from the minute of introduction, I ask the first question: what have so-and-so said about me? And I listen really closely because I want to understand, have I been properly sold? I want to also hear What have they know about me? What am I capable to do in their life? Because if they're here and I've been sold properly, I can ask the next question. What would you like me to do for you today? But if I was not sold correctly, I cannot ask that question. Because they're going to say, wait a minute. I thought you're going to be talking about the business to be today. But if I was sold correctly, I'm going to go straight to the question. What would you like me? So the person's going to immediately talk about one of the two things. Either about a pain, because they know they only have 3 minutes. So they're going to talk about either about their pain, the most biggest problem, not enough of money. I love this company and I cannot succeed. I cannot, no matter who I call, I always get no's. Whatever the problem is, they're going to talk about the problem. Or number two, and those are the common things that I hear. You see, either people not answering, or I cannot pick up a phone. I cannot get myself ready to make those phone calls. These are the common answers that I always hear. Or number two, it seems like I hit a ceiling, and no matter what I do, I cannot break out of that ceiling. But I have a desire for $1 million home, or a $3 million home. I have a desire for this beautiful lifestyle, and I cannot achieve it. So now, after I identified one of the two things, either their desire or their pain, and again, desire is still solving the pain, but either I identify what hurts them or what the desire is, I go immediately and I start selling whatever that is. I start selling based on their desire or their pain. If their pain is they having problem picking up the phone, then I start offering them coaching. I start offering them working with them. If they're from they're hitting the ceiling, again, coaching. Remember, when you guys in network marketing, your number one job is not to just sell the product, is to become a mother to your people that join the business. So when you're talking to a prospect, they're coming in new into that business. Even though if there might be a senior in network marketing, they're coming in new. And for a short period of time, you need to mother them. You need to take care of them. You need to help them make those first steps. You need to help them pick up their phone and make the first couple of phone calls. If you're not going to do that, that's the reason why majority of people in network marketing failing. That's the reason why I've been failing for over 20 years in network marketing myself. Because nobody, you guys want to know that first time I heard about three-way calls was about 3 years ago. That's about 22 years in network marketing before I heard about a three-way call. Do you guys understand how much network marketing, people in network marketing don't even have a clue how to even run a business, how to create a business, and how to even take care of each other? And that's where I'm coming in, and that's where I'm saying, you know what? I'm not going to allow these things to happen. I'm going to teach people. I'm going to show people. I'm going to try to help people so they can actually understand. And when their people coming into the business, they can, take it. They can actually mother them. They can actually help them and help them achieve. So you're going to quickly realize that becoming a mother to your new new business partners is actually the approach. Second, you start realizing teaching them, helping them become successful is the key of success. I want to ask you a question. Do you guys, first of all, before I ask a question, do you guys know in regular business, if you hired an employee and he worked for you for 30 days and you going to fire them or let them go or they're going to leave, they're not leaving, and you're pretty much saying, you know what, fine, I'll get another one. If your business has a unique form of operation, they're walking away with knowledge that you invested into them. So let's say you were paying them $2,000 a month, but for that 1 month of effort that you put into them, they're walking away with $6,000 of your investment time into them that you will never ever make it back. So by understanding that in regular business, in the employee world, that every single employee is worth so much more than what you're paying them, Same thing in network marketing business, guys. Every single person that you brought in and they said yes, and they have never picked up a phone call, they never called anybody, it's a person that could have made you at least $100,000 over the next 3 to 5 years. You just threw those $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 into trash. You just rejected, said, you know what? I'm fine. I do not want that $100,000. I'm not interested. Guys, the hardest part is for the person to say yes. But for some reason, for a lot of people, it becomes the opposite. It's the easiest to say yes, and it's the hardest is actually to work with those people. It's the hardest to turn that $100,000 into a reality. So you can actually, so those money can hit your deposit when you get them going. But honestly, it's just a couple days of work. It's actually scheduling that next day phone call and say, hey, Svetlana, I really appreciate it that you joined the company. I want to say welcome that you joined the company XYZ. And I want to actually clearly schedule a next meeting with you. It's going to be in half hour or an hour, whatever you prefer. And you're going to say, hey, on that meeting, we will create a list of 10 people. If you prefer to create a list of 10 people before the meeting, it's fantastic. And we're going to make phone calls. So can we do this meeting tomorrow? Or can we do it tonight? Or whenever you guys have availability and they have availability. It has to happen within the next 72 hours, guys. If you're not having the person that signed up and you do not have a starting call where you're going to start making phone calls with them within the next 72 hours, the first $100,000 that you were suspected that you could have earned from them, 50,000 of that is just went into the trash. You already just write out a $500,000 check and just drop it into a trash and say, oh, no, I'm sorry, not $500,000, $50,000 check and just throw it in a trash. Hey, and sign it, make sure you sign it and say, hopefully my trash guy won't find it. If he does, maybe, the check will bounce. If not, you'll have $50,000 less in your bank account. So you get that appointment scheduled and make sure they're going to be on that phone call. You're going to sit down and you're going to say, hey, right from top of your head, write down 10 names. They're going to write down those 10 names. Then you're going to say, I want you to, in front of each name, I want you to number those names by number 1 through 10. 1 is somebody that most likely will like the idea, this business that you joined, that our business, and 10 is the least likely they'll like this business or join. So we're going to actually start off with those 10 numbers, and each number, you can say, okay, we're going to call number 10, number 7, and number 5. Do you guys know why we're going to call number 10, 7, and 5? We're going to show them that we're going to go with the hardest people, and as we are professionals, and we're going to talk with them. And we're going to leave them the easier numbers. And as they work from number 1 to the number 9, skipping the 5 and 7, because we already spoke with those, they'll work up and they'll build up that confidence to talk to those people themselves. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to call that number 10. So they're going to dial. And before they dial, we're going to explain them. They're going to introduce you. So they're going to say, hey, hello, let's say Lana. Hello, Lana. I have Judy on the line, and Judy is a very fantastic woman. She's been so successful in her life in the last 10 years, in the last 20 years of being a business owner. She has a team of thousands who actually have reached success of at least $10,000 a month of income. And I would like to you to speak to her for a couple of minutes. She's very busy, but she just allowed me to give you 3 minutes of her time. Judy, this is Lana, and Lana, this is Judy, and you just get out and you just put your phone on the mute and let Judy take over. So Judy going to explain a little bit about the business or ask questions, whatever Judy will decide to do. And Judy at that point will invite them to information. Or if Judy can actually handle everything in 3 minutes, she might say, hey, why don't you get signed up? And after that, I'll give you instructions what to do next. If we do these steps in the beginning correctly, then we will have success. Can you guys imagine? You guys picked up, you guys selected 3 out of those 10 members, and you reached 2 out of the 3, and 2 out of the 3 agreed. As they spoke with Judy, they agreed to come out and watch the Zoom. Don't you guys think that now this Lana, the new person that just signed up yesterday, that she's not going to be excited? She's definitely going to be excited. There's 2 reasons why she's going to be excited. First, never ever has anybody done this before. Never ever has anybody got on the phone with her and actually made phone calls. Everybody told her, go make a list of 100 and do the calls themselves. 2, nobody have not given her feedback and said, Lana, you did a good job introducing me. And Lana, you did a good job, but here's that something I would recommend you to change. Say, instead, next time, just say this or that. Work with the person. Adjust them. And guess what? Now after 3 or 4 phone calls, Lana became a perfect inviter to a 3-way call. So the 4th call right now, Lana does, and Judy stays on the line, but Lana doesn't say Judy's on the line. Judy's also listening to make sure that Lana will schedule a phone call with Judy in the near future. So Lana completes a call. Judy recalls Lana and says, hey, Lana, we need to correct this or that. Or Lana, perfect, you're good to go. So you have 5 more numbers to call. Hey, let's speak in half hour. And I want to hear how those 5 phone calls did. Do not tell him, hey, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Give him that time frame that you have scheduled. Have them finish the rest of that time frame on their own. And at the end of the time frame, call back and say, how was the final 5 numbers went? When those 5 numbers, she made the phone calls and she gets back to you guys, she will have at least 2, 3 scheduled appointments. Now, 3-way calls I will do with in another training, but you always want to talk with your team leader or a sponsor or somebody who's going to be doing the 3-way calls for you, and you want to confirm either available times or ask from the prospect multiple times availability and have those availability, and then confirm that, like would be with Judy or with Veronica, and then go back and say, okay, I spoke with Judy, or I spoke with Veronica, and they said they're available tomorrow at 3 o'clock. As you said, one of your availability would be 3 o'clock tomorrow. So, and then again, Alana calls back and she confirms at 3 o'clock, but she does a 3-time confirmation. 3-time confirmation. Because if the first person doesn't confirm 3 times, so first one, okay. So Lana confirmed 3 o'clock. That's your confirmation number 1. Number 2, I want to confirm how much time in advance should I let you know, remind you of the 3 o'clock meeting. She confirms it. Number 3, I want you to clearly understand that if you for whatever reason failed to show up at this 3 o'clock meeting, the next time she will be able to speak to you is probably going to be 3 to 6 months from now. So do you understand how important this phone call is for you? Not for me, but for you. You want to make sure that Judy or Veronica, whoever is the leader, you want to present to them that they're the most busiest people on the planet. And they're only doing this as a favor to you to speak to them. Very important, guys. So when you guys do that, you guys will see a lot more success and a lot more people will show up to your 3-way calls. And the 3-way calls will be short, straight to the point, and with results. Because people want somebody to help them solve the problem. Because most of the people, they ran out of ideas. They no longer know how to solve their problems. Because if they did, they would have solved them already. And a lot of people even lost faith that it's even possible to solve their problems. So you sell your leader as a person who knows how to solve their problem, whatever the problem might be. And you present them as if they were God. I don't say that in the word of retaking God's position. I'm saying as somebody that could really come in and make miracles in their lives. That's how you should be selling your leaders for the three-way calls, guys. So we have spoken with our first rejection, so no money, and I already brought you guys examples that majority people have money, but we just have not sold the idea. And the idea is, guys want to sell. You can always sell either your business, which means the product of your of the business you're working with, or you can sell your leader as somebody who is highly successful on helping them achieve their results. So lifestyle, finances, whatever that is. And then the leader comes in and the leader says, hey, there's a presentation, there's a training, there's whatever it is that the leader is going to offer, and invite them and say, hey, this is a step number one. That means when you're going to come to this presentation, this is not going to be a solution, this final step. This is going to be a step number one through which you're going to go through, and we're going to evaluate you. Can I really even help you? Can I really even change your life? Can I really even see if it's possible to change your life? And you guys know why we're saying, is it possible? Can I really help you? Because if the person, we're going to tell them, hey, come on and watch our presentation, and they come in and they watch the presentation, they're kind of thinking, do I want to get in this? Don't want to get in this? Is it going to be another something that I'm going to throw money into it? But when somebody says, hey, this is a step number one, you need to go in and watch this presentation, and then we're going to judge, do you even fit into our program? Guess, guys, what? Person's going to pay attention. They're no longer going to gauge it, do I want to get in? They're going to try to ask questions. What do I need to do to get in so this person can help me? Do you guys see the difference? One, do I want to get into this company? Two, I want to get into this company because this is the only way I can get Slavic, I can get Judy, I can get Veronica to actually help me change my life. Help me achieve financial success. Help me achieve my life desire that I want. Most of us, we sell businesses. But we should be selling lifestyles and problem solving. And end of the day, most network marketing companies, they're lifestyle businesses. They're not. They're selling a product is just a tool through which a company can be legally move their product through. But end of the day, when you come into the company, you're coming in to sell the lifestyle. That's why you become the brand, not the company. If you work for TLC, no, I work for myself. I'm Coach Stefan or Stefan Coach. I'm a Slavic, a super intellect trainer, and a cash flow coach. I'm a Veronica, the life changing and providing solutions. I am providing lifestyle solutions. I am providing ways to give you access to your lifestyle that you want. So when you start looking at yourself from that point of view, you start understanding that no matter what company you're doing, it's a vehicle to change people's lives. If people approached and then looked at that from that point of view, we would not have 3% millionaires in America. We would actually probably have 30% of people in America millionaires. But the problem is, we're joining and we're presenting constantly TLC, Travorium, what other companies out there? We're constantly advertising other companies out there. We're constantly advertising, and we're removing ourselves. Do you guys know why we're removing ourselves from the picture? Because we're scared not to be blamed when they fail. But end of the day, I don't know how it is in the American community, but here in the Russian community, I'll tell you this. If you invited them and they failed, they're always going to blame you. You're the reason. People never want to blame themselves. People never want to blame and take responsibility for their failure. They're always going to blame somebody. That's just like how human being is built. So, guys, that is the reality, and that is how we succeed in the company. So, first question that I have, and we are actually finishing up with our first hour, and I actually scheduled this for 2 hours. So, I want to ask a question: does anybody else have a way to approach no money situation when somebody says, "I have no money," when you're trying to present them, guys? When you sell them a new Mercedes that's worth $100,000 for $2,000, they'll find the $2,000. But if they don't understand that you're selling them a good running Mercedes that's new, they're never going to give you the $2,000. They're not going to have the money. But I want to hear. So pretty much, who would like to open up a mic and get your view or your opinion how to respond to an "I have no money"? Anybody?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead, Judy.
Hi, Slavic. It's a great training what you're doing, and you are really giving a very, very good advice to people. But how I would handle myself when a person tells me I have no money. I tell them, because you have no money, that definitely you need it more than I do, and I don't need the money, and I'm working it. And yes, a lot of people says no to me, but I go with the next and the next and the next, and I don't stop till somebody tells me, yes, they are interested. But when they say they have no money, the reason they have no money because they're not interested in a business, because they want to get rid of you as soon as possible, because everybody has a minimum money to get it into the business. And they don't need a big money. They can just come in with a minimum, let's say $100, and start to inviting people, and they make money immediately. And that's what I tell people when they tell me they have no money. You have to come in with a minimum and do what I do. Go on social media, uh, look for people who has business, approach them, and you will see you will be very successful. And you will never say, I have no money, because you will definitely have money in this program, because this program, it is outstanding good. The company is really flourishing, and they are going global, international, every country, and this company is going to be very successful. And you being a very beginning on a program, and if you don't approach people, someone else will approach them, and you will lose them. So definitely, highly recommend do a three-way call the way Slavic was suggesting. Reach out to your upline, and your upline will definitely will help you to close sale. I do this 35 years. I'm being very successful. I do choose what company I want to work. I don't go just any company. Even so, sometimes they offer big money, but I check out the marketing plan. I check out the product, and then I check out the company background. And I'm trying to get a good company where it doesn't go under. But okay, we don't have a crystal ball, and we don't know what will happen. However, everybody will make money here. And there's no one person can come and say they get involved and they didn't make money. All of them, every person is calling me, oh, I am doing so fantastic. I am making so much. And we have a great downline. Like I have over 825 people. So it's growing daily, 100 people. And that's all duplicating. And I'm receiving income, commission from people who I don't even know. They don't know me, but I'm getting residual income. And so this is very powerful. I highly recommend to be part of this training call, because each time when you come on a call, you're going to learn how to do it, how to be successful. And you will never say, I have no money. Definitely, Slavic, this is my answer.
Thank you, Judy. Coach Stefan, you have your mic on. Do you have something to say?
Yeah, well, when somebody asks, I always know that overcoming an objection. I learned this back in the day when I was in sales. And I like this because network marketing, if you get the bug, you'll never go back. You know, once you get this bug and once you can know that you can build a team, because like I said, I would rather have 1% of 100 people's effort than 100% of my own. And what I've learned that overcoming objection is 4 things. You have to, what Judy is telling me all the time, you have to listen. You have to listen to what they're saying. And I have a bad habit of jumping in and interrupting, but she's been correcting me, and I hope I've been getting better, Judy. Then you have to repeat exactly what they said back to them like a parrot. Like if they say, I have no money, you say, you have no money? And they might say, well, yeah. Then when you repeat that, you say, when you say you have no money, what do you mean by you have no money? And then they'll say, you know, whatever they're going to say, and then you overcome. Well, if I can show you a way on you getting more money, would you take a look at it? You're not trying to sell them and get them in right away. You're trying to get them. This is basically inviting them to a Zoom meeting, you know, getting them to see the Zoom. Because they're all going to say, I ain't got money. Well, what they're really saying to you is, I don't have any money for you.
That's
I
right.
have money. I don't have money for you because I don't see, like Slavic said, I don't see any value. But once, I promise you, once they can see they can make money with this, they'll come up with $1,000. They'll come up with 500. I promise you they will. I mean, I've had it happen to me over and over again. People said, oh, no, you're not going to sell me anything. And then all of a sudden they're buying. So, yeah, I mean, it's not being afraid to ask the questions. Like people are afraid to ask. Like the guy said to me, he told me today, I said, what is it about? What is it about? I said, it's about you making more money. Do you want to do it? Well, you got to tell me a little bit about it. Well, you know, that's what the Zoom is for. You know, I don't need to tell you about it. And why don't you take a look at it? Well, I just don't want to do it. And the question that people are afraid to ask is ask the person why. Why? And look them in the eye. Why? And they'll say why. They'll tell you why. And they can give you an answer. Like when they say, I want to think about it, that's not something you can overcome. You have to ask, what do you want to think about? You want to think about you can get the money? You want to think about whether the company is a good company? You want to think about whether you want to join me and my teams? What is it that you want to think about? I had to ask Tony that. What do you want to think about, Tony? How long are you going to think about it? You know, you've been thinking about having money for how long? You know, so that's kind of my 2 cents. But there we go.
Yeah, rejection, when somebody says I'm gonna think about it, that means there's a question in their head they're not willing to ask you that's not answered. So if you're not gonna answer that question correctly based on the correct information, they will answer that with their fantasy. And the fantasy most likely will talk them out of it. So when they're asking for more time, they're just not getting a clear picture in order for them to make the right decision. Yes, in some case they have to talk with the family members or arrange money or something. So yes, in that case we do give them time. But if they're just asking for time, out of the blue without a good reason why, most likely they just don't have all the questions answered. So dig and find those questions that they have and answer those questions. I want to actually share something that Stefan touched on, and I want to actually share you guys a story. Couple weeks ago in my coaching business, I was asked to be part of a three-way call or to do a three-way call for somebody. And they arranged, scheduled the time as we talked, forth and back. Eventually, we got a day and time schedule that worked for both of us, all three of us. And she had all of her calls recorded. So I listened to every single call, and I wanted her to represent me the way I wanted her to represent me. And after I liked it, I finally agreed to a time, which then she went back and confirmed. And on a call, when we got on a call, I immediately went in and I said, hey, first question, what do you want to accomplish in your life? What do you want to achieve? Right off the back, because I already knew and understood a little bit about the person. And the person says, hey, I want to solve first, because he just came to America. So I want to establish myself financially where I don't stress about finances, where I don't have to go to work every single day. And two, within 5 years, I want to own a big business that can bring me at least $1 million a year. And I said, fantastic. So I can make both of those things deliver. The first thing I can help you deliver within 3 months is where I can get you to a stable income where you right now you don't have to work. And within about 3 years, I can deliver you a business that will deliver you $1 million minimum. But my question is, can you imagine yourself making that $1 million and seeing that lifestyle? Marina and Veronica, you probably remember the training guys did about what was it, Tseli, goals. So pretty much I used that concept, but instead of talking about goals, I said, can you imagine? So tell me the house that you're going to live in. Tell me how many cars can be parked by the house. Tell me how your family looks, what they're dressing, what they're eating, what's inside the house. Is there a helicopter by the house? Is there an airplane strip and an airplane by the house? Is there a yacht by the house? And I started asking these questions. What I wanted to do is I wanted for him to build an image of a lifestyle, not just a fantasy of $1 million, but actually build an image. Because when a person builds their own image and they start attaching themselves to that image, it becomes a lot harder for them to reject it later and say, you know what, I don't want it anymore. But if they have a fantasy but not an image, it's a lot easier to say to the fantasy, hey, you know, it was just a fantasy. You know, I never really meant, you know, being wealthy. I was just something I was fantasizing about $1 million. So when I allowed him to build that image and I asked him a question, how much you're willing to pay me to help you achieve all of this in the next 3 to 5 years? Joe, I'm gonna put you on mute because there's a feedback in behind there. So yes, how much you're willing to pay me so I can help you achieve this in 3 to 5 years? Everything you just imagined right now, everything we just spoke about, you just shared to me. How much? And he was like, I do not know. And I'm like, okay, $500,000, 100,000, 50,000, 10,000, 5,000. And I stopped at 5,000. There's a reason, because I don't want to say that, you know, my service is worth cheap. So he stays up for about a minute, a couple seconds, and he said, you know what? If you could really deliver this, I would definitely pay $200,000. Guys, somebody that doesn't even make $200,000 a year, somebody that barely breaking through $3,000 a month, immigrant that came from Ukraine 3 months ago, he's ready to pay $200,000. He's ready to do whatever it takes to make that $200,000 and pay me so I can help him deliver that lifestyle, that multi-million-dollar lifestyle he just created a picture just about 2 minutes ago. So now the question is network marketing is a business where we sell the product, or network marketing is a business through which we use as a vehicle to help them get where they want to be? If you do not see your business being the vehicle through which you can take people to where they want to be, maybe you need to find another business. Because end of the day, the business that you're using needs to become a vehicle through which you will help them deliver what they desire. Bottom line. So when I work, I don't sell TLC. I don't sell Travorm. I don't sell the other companies. I sell a way, a path, a knowledge, a way that I will get them. Now, when she said $200,000, I said, hey, fantastic. But I'll tell you a great news. You're not going to have to pay $200,000 today. You're not going to even have to pay $1,000 today. Just a simple $100. You'll come into this training and I will observe you. And after completing this training, I will tell you answer. Can I continue working with you or not? Why do you guys think I said you pay $100, I watch you, and after completing the training, I'll let you know how it is? Because I did not want him to come into a training and at the same time watch a TV. I did not want him to come into the training but not pay attention to it, or not to follow through in the training. I wanted him to put all his effort so we can have a fantastic start. Same thing here in TLC, in Travorm. We need to come up with the ways where we motivate people. We say, hey, it's not going to cost you. Somebody said, there's somebody else said very similar approach, and they said, okay, I'm willing to pay $2,500 today. And I'm saying, hey, $2,500 not needed. $100, guys, just $100. One lady said, actually, she's from Russia, and she said, I'm willing to pay today $200. And I told her this. I don't remember her name exactly right now. And I said, hey, lady, you're gonna go in and you're gonna register and you're gonna pay $100, and you're gonna take the other $100 and you're gonna go out and you're gonna buy yourself a pair of shoes. You're going to buy something to reward yourself that you started today on a path to success, where you're finally going to take control of your life. So go out and reward yourself. And this is going to be step one, where you're going to go and reward yourself. So those are just a couple things that I wanted to kind of bring it up on that topic. Anybody else that want to touch on the no money before we move on to no time? If you have something to say, please open your mic. Go in one.
Yeah, Slavic. Yeah, Slavic, it's me. Привет. So I just wanted to add, guys, anytime somebody mentions money, right? I was taught by a good friend of mine who mentioned to remind them tax savings. I'm not sure if you talked about tax savings, but every time you here, I don't have extra $135 or whatever a month to cover the cost, you can tell them that tax savings alone will get you there, you know, $300-400 a month of savings, and there is a tax calculator you can share with them, will show them that it's worth of their investment.
Yes, with U.S. companies, it's a very effective way to show people that as an employees that they can actually save on taxes just by being in network marketing business, not even doing anything other than just taking part of it. Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Marina. So yes, those of you that working with US-based companies, very beneficial to also introduce people to tax benefits, because that does definitely saves a regular person. Makes let's say somebody making a $30,000, and their business costs, let's say $1,500 a year. That gives them a $1,500 reduced on their taxes, which will give them roughly about on a $1,500. About $400 of more refund at the end of the year. So that's kind of doing the math in my head as I speak. I see Stefan, you open the mic. I'll take one more and then we'll move on to time. So Stefan, go ahead.
Well, you mentioned time, and it brought me to a perfect example. I was talking to a guy named Johnny at a meeting we were having, and I asked him because I knew that he said he wanted to get out of his job. I heard him. I don't want to be in this job no more. I gotta find a new job. I don't know where to look for, and I don't know what this is. And I went up to him and I said, hey, I got something that can make you some extra money. And what does he say? I ain't got no time. I go, well, you don't have any time. You want to make more money and you don't like your job, but you don't have any more time. I said, you can't take, an hour out of your time to take a look at something that's going to make you more money he likes to go evangelizing. So I said, what about this that would free you up where you don't have to work on your job and you have more time to go vandalize? He goes, there you go. That's all, So I got him on that. And then on Friday, I said, well, we're going to have a meeting next week. We're going to have Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and it's at my time 4. Obviously, it's Judy's 7. I go, 4 o'clock. Which one do you want to do? Monday, Wednesday, or Friday? And he goes, well, Monday. Oh, he balked at it. And I go, and then people don't realize how powerful silence is. And I learned this a long time ago. Silence is very, very powerful. It's like you typically will talk past the sale because you talk so much, you can never shut up. And you talk past the sale and the person goes, no, I don't want to do it because you already oversold it. You already passed. So the best thing to do is to ask the question and remain silent, because I'll tell you, it's like a game. Whoever speaks first will lose every time. If you open your mouth before that person opens their mouth, you lost. So just remember that. Silence. You try to be silent for 1 minute, everybody wants to fill that silence and will come back and say something. So when you ask a question, remain silent until they ask, and you can get them on more Zooms.
Thank you, Steve. I want to ask everybody here, do you guys want to know a trick how to save a person at least half hour a day? Anybody? So Veronica says yes. Steve says with both hands yes. So when somebody says to me, I have no time, the first questions I ask, how much time do you spend on social media? Like Facebook, Telegram, YouTube, TikTok, all of these similar apps. No, I spend a little. I'm like half hour, an hour, 2 hours. People usually do not notice that they spend at least an hour. Some people spend as much as 3-4 hours a day. So when they say, and they give me a time frame, I say, hey, how would you like to take 3/4 of that time back? Because what you spend on those platforms is most likely time wasted that you probably would have not spent if you could have controlled yourself and instead of those apps controlling you. And usually people agree to that. And I'm saying, hey, go to your phone and change your phone to the grayscale. So I immediately will type it up on YouTube, and I'll not YouTube, on Google, how to ask either Android or Apple, and I'll look through the steps and I'll tell them, hey, follow these steps and let's change your phone to grayscale. Also remember these steps, or you can always go to Google and type it in, how to take the phone out of grayscale, and then Google will give you directions to do that as well. And I'm going to say, in your next 24 hours, watch how much more free time you just created yourself. Guys, people do not know what to do with free time. Majority of people that I put this on the trick, I get a call about and I try to get them activated immediately while on the phone. They call me back half hour later saying, Slavic, I'm ready to do whatever you say. I don't know what, but that phone became no longer interested. I no longer want to go on YouTube. I no longer want to go on Facebook. I no longer want to watch TikTok. People just not realizing how much those phones control and take our time. And when you create that free time, they just right now ready to do whatever it takes to change their life. As long as they want to do that, guys, that's how powerful. So remember that trick. and use it. Second, let's say you do not know how to about this trick. Another approach of a no time is you ask them, and for how long you, again, going back as we have about the money, for how long you've been running these 2-3 jobs. If you know, if no time because they're working too much or they have too many errands, too many kids, whatever it is, for how long you've been in a situation not having any time. And here again, start drawing a picture. If a situation, I'm having errands, I'm having kids and all this stuff, and I'm saying, hey, wouldn't it be nice to hire somebody for $4,000 or $5,000 to take care of your kids for at least 4 or 5 hours a day? They could also do the errands for you, and you can actually take that time and enjoy it instead of running like the chicken without a head. I start selling them a dream. They come back again, but I have the money to pay $4,000 or $5,000. I'll say, hey, step number one, I'm asking, it would be nice. And if you can agree that it would be nice to actually buy you back that time, number two, I can show you how to make that $4,000 or $5,000. So you can actually buy back that time. So when they start getting that idea that they want to free up the time, they want to do, and I'm asking this question. Would you love to bring that into reality? All it's going to take is about 15 minutes a day. That's about 3 phone calls a day. That's all you'll need to do every single day for the next 90 days. I'll handle everything else. You only do 3 calls a day, about 3 minutes per phone call for the next 3 months. I'll handle everything else. I will help you create that money. In return, you will go get that person who will actually help you free up some of that time. And then I'll teach everything else what I was doing in the meanwhile, so you can actually go out and take control of your life. Almost always people agree, but you want to make sure that you're willing to do that extra work for them. But remember, when you're saying 3 minutes phone calls for 3 minutes a day, all they're doing, they're just setting. All they're doing, they're just setting 3-way calls with you. That's all they're doing. They're just setting 3-way calls with you. You're getting on the phone call with their prospect, and you're bringing them to the next step. From there, you're taking it over. So that's how you allow them to create time. Some people say they don't have time, but truly they do have time. They're just not realizing it. And when they start making those phone calls and they start seeing that money coming in, you know, that $100, that $300, that $500 coming in, they're not going to wait 3 months. They will start being active a lot quicker, and they will come up with solutions. They will get a neighbor to sit with their kids. They will have their niece or somebody else sit with their kid, and they will create the time before they make that $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 so they can hire somebody. But you need to show them that it works. When they're saying they have no time, they're just not believing that the time they're going to invest is actually going to pay out. But every single person has no problem spending 15 minutes to make 3 phone calls and set time to meet with their sponsor. Sell their sponsor like as if a magician or a miracle worker is going to talk to them, and with a snip of a finger, solve all their problems. That's all they're all you're pretty much asking them to do. So, any comments on no time that somebody want to share before we move on to the next one? Going once, going twice. Moving on to the next one. Not interested. And before we move to the not interested, I want to tell you guys, 5% of the people you're going to speak to, roughly about 5%, they're truly, no matter what you tell them, they're not interested. They want to just get you off the phone. They made up their mind. No, there is no miracle word that you can tell them to change their mind. They're not interested. And they'll just tell you whatever they come up with just to be nice and get you off the phone. The remaining 95% of the people, they will look for they'll tell you as excuses, but in reality, those excuses are telling you that they misunderstood something. Анджелина, я делаю тренинг, не могу сейчас, я на зуме. So we're gonna go down to not interested. Not interested. Most of the time, person have not understood what you offer them. But in rare situations, people truly not interested because they already made up their mind. Like my sister. My sister doesn't believe, she believes that the only way to make money is open up your own company and make the money for yourself. She doesn't understand that even if you run your own company, somebody by you still making money. She believes if you join network marketing, you're helping somebody else make money, not to yourself. So at one point, I just realized no matter how much you bark at that tree will not move. So I realized she falls into that 5%. But majority people, they will say yes if you draw a picture clear enough. And the most easiest way is not to draw a picture for them. Just imagine you walk into an art gallery and you're looking at 100 different kind of pictures drawn by a different artist. Can you guys clearly see on a picture what artist was seen as he was drawing that picture? No, you can only see how your mind interprets it. You will never be able to see it from the artist's point of view. That's why you help. First, you're not the artist. You are a director. You help the prospect to draw the picture. And you try to understand as much as you can what picture the artist has drawn. So when you speak to a prospect, you always try to understand the pain and to ask them to describe it in their words so you can understand as much, so you can turn around and sell them a solution. So when they're saying not interested, so you start asking. That's why when somebody calls, let's say example, somebody sees a presentation, and after the presentation, I come in and I ask, let's say if it's a travel. So which part did you like? Did you like the travel part of it, or did you like the money part of it? It was like a TLC. Did you like the investment part of it, or did you like the income, the business building part of it? Which part did you like? That's why when I do a TLC presentation, I try to separate the investment from business earning. Even they're both earnings, but I try to separate them, guys. So I can ask the question, which part did you like? Did you like the investment, the 200 plus return? Or did you like the building a team and making an unlimited amount of money? So when I ask the person start thinking, you know, what did exactly like Steven said, that the more you listen, so when you ask a question, you pause, you listen. And then and when they start describing and sharing with you the presentation, oh, they said this, or Slavic, you said this, you said this, you just said this, I like that. They're selling it to themselves. A lot of times what I have seen, what I've done in the past, is after a person watched the presentation, I said, hey, are you signing up? And they're like, not interested. Why would they be interested if they only seen the presentation and you immediately went for the kill? You haven't asked them, what did they like? And when you ask them what did they like and they start sharing with you, guess what? They watched once. Right now, they told that presentation over again, but right now, they did the presentation to themselves. So the second time they did the presentation to themselves, they're like, you know what? Yeah, I definitely want to be a part of it. So then, like Steven said, the next question is, what's stopping you today from signing up? What's stopping you today? Not tomorrow, not a week, not a month later. What's stopping you today from signing up? But you cannot ask that question before they tell you what they heard on the presentation. Now, if you're calling them to invite to a presentation, then you do want to say, hey, I want to share something with you. What is it about? Hey, it is something talking about our economical situation these days. Something that can actually help you get ahead of everybody else. What it's about? Hey, I'm sorry, I cannot tell you much, but it's talking about economical situation, how you can get ahead of everybody else. Or second thing is, which also I heard somebody said, when you're talking to a prospect, like as if you just signed up a minute ago. You always promote your leader. So you can also say, you know what, hey, I can put you on a line with somebody, like I already said earlier, or you can say, you know what, I have been yesterday on this presentation. It sounded so good, but at the same time, I don't even know how to explain it to you. But I do need your help to come in and help me analyze this. And it's so we're gonna have it tomorrow at 7. Can you help me analyze this? Can you come in? Then you ask for people's professional view. People always like to give their professional view. They always love to share their opinion. But as long as you don't give them information to give their opinion right there, right now, they'll have no choice, and they will come in and listen to give you that opinion. So don't give them the reason to give your opinion right. Don't tell them anything. Hey, I'm sorry, but what is it about? You know what? It was about. They were saying something about getting ahead of everybody in this economical time. They were also saying about how people are making $10,000 by just getting in 3 months. You know, just blurb something out that doesn't give them no information, but get them interested to come and listen. Don't tell them it's a never marketing. Don't tell them the name of the company. Guys, here's the situation. If you gave a prospect the name of the company, you're done. You are done. They're not going to show up to your Zoom meeting, and if they do, it's only about 3% out of 100 that will. Rest of them will not. Do you know why? Even if they're interested, they will type it in on YouTube, on Google, the name of the company, and they're not going to look for the positive reviews. They're going to look for the negative reviews. They're going to look for that Melaleuca guy that talks bad about TLC or Travorium. They're going to look for that other guy that's talk bad about your company because he's pissed that somebody left his company for your company. So he's going to talk bad about your company. And then and they can say, you know what? I don't want to get involved. This is a scam. This guy told it's a scam. I'm not getting involved. So the next time you call this guy, he doesn't going to answer. And the good possibility, he's not answering because he's not even hearing your phone call because he put you on the blacklist. So do not, never ever mention the company's name until they're at the presentation and they're seeing the whole information. It's very, very important. So, not interested. Figure it out. Talk to them, ask questions why they're not interested. Okay, I'm going to give a couple examples. Person doesn't understand investment. So the 200% means to him nothing. Making 250% a year means to him nothing. So that's why he's not interested. Another example might be not interested. Guy has never left his town. For the 40 years he's been alive, the furthest he traveled is about 150 miles away from his home. So travel, he doesn't understand travel. You talk to him Dubai, and he's like, no, I can travel on Google to Dubai. I can see the pictures. I can go to YouTube, see the videos. No, not interested. So yes, there is some kind of a concept that. So, but again, when you start selling to, hey, just imagine yourself in Dubai. Let's go to Google, and let's go to Google and type in Dubai, and click on images, and select this beautiful picture down there, and just imagine yourself on that picture. Type in Hawaii or Honolulu or Maui, and pick out a picture that you really, really love it, and imagine yourself there. If you're trying to sell travel, use that through their imagination. saying, hey, imagine yourself there. Where would you like to go? Where did you want to go when you were a kid? Okay, type it in on Google. Find that picture. Imagine yourself there. When you start doing that, you get then the person says, you know what? Yeah, you know what? Yes, I'm definitely interested. I do want to come back and listen to that presentation again. I do want to see that presentation. Same thing with TLC. When somebody says not interested, what are you not interested? Not interested in investment? Okay. Have a couple videos ready that explains investment from YouTube, and say, hey, yeah, I'm going to show you, send you a couple videos, watch those videos, and when can I call back so we can touch on this again? So they can start understanding investment. When you're talking about income, and some people say, you know what, I never ever invited anybody, I never ever been successful, none of this. I ask this question. You're telling me you seen a movie and you never ever shared anybody about that movie? You went out to a restaurant and you had a fantastic cake, or maybe an ice cream, or maybe a dessert, or a meal, and you never ever shared with anybody? You tried the banana for your first time and you never ever were excited, and you never shared about how good the banana tasted? See, like for me, the first time I tried banana, when I came to America, some of you guys Americans probably spoiled because you probably had bananas from day one when you were born. So guys, you start asking people questions. You're saying you never shared, and then you ask yourself this. Ask them this. So when they say yes, they have shared. Yes, I've shared. And I actually spoke with somebody, I think it was yesterday or the day before, exactly on the same topic. And she's like, I do not know how to invite. I'm like, you never. And she's like, no, I'm the best at sharing. I'm actually the speaking advertiser when it comes down to sharing, but I cannot able to share this business. And I'm like, hey, because you do not understand that business. So dive more, get yourself more familiar with the business. And when you do, you will have no problem sharing, as you are able to share about everything else. So a lot of times people have a hard time because they just don't understand, and invite them to get more understanding. So either send them more videos or spend more time with them and introduce them more to the business. And at the end of the day, as soon as they get it, it's all a matter of that click. As soon as it's clicked in their head, no problem. They'll pick up the phone and they'll start making calls. So also they say, when they say, yes, I have shared, and they just start telling me stories, how, a couple of stories that they shared. And I'm like, have you got paid for it? And they're like, no. But if I told you that every single time that you would have shared, if you were actually in our company, our company would have paid you for it. So why, starting from today, moving forward, why not getting paid every single time you're going to share something related to our company? A person starts thinking, wait a minute. I've been advertising everything in my life and I never got paid, not once. But now you're telling me I can make a business out of this? I can make hundreds and thousands of dollars by now getting paid for sharing? They start creating that picture. You just gave them an idea and they start drawing, they start becoming the artist. You became the director and they start drawing the artist. Now use that picture that they just draw and say, you know what? Why don't I help you get signed up today? Let's go to the website, send them the link, and get them signed up. See, most sign up, especially in TLC, guys, 90% of the people can get signed up before you even invite them to a Zoom presentation, because it's free. Sign up in TLC is free. And then when the person signs up, only then you say, you know what? You have $20? Put $20 in. That is just to confirm to me that you're serious. You want to know how to get paid for every time you share. Person will have no problem putting $20 down. And then you say, hey, tomorrow we have a meeting at 7 o'clock. Now let me ask you this question. The guy just right now paid $20. He signed up, not even knowing yet what that is. Don't you guys think he's not gonna show up at this tomorrow at 7? Oh yes, he will, because right now he's signed up. He has something invested. Yes, a lot of you can say it's $20. They'll forget. But guys, he paid $20 for nothing yet. How much more he's going to be willing to pay when he sees the presentation? Because right now he's going to pay attention to it. So when the person says not interested, 95% of the time, you just not gave them a reason to be interested. So find out what they're not interested in, what they did not understand, and go back and fix that. As soon as you fix that, they will be interested, whatever that is. So any comments on not interested before we move to the most biggest rejection, through which I already started, and I've been talking about it the whole day today. Any comments on not interested? Going once? Going twice? Moving on to the third one, we have 15 minutes, and I'm hoping I can get this done in 15 minutes. We all have heard where people would say, is this a pyramid? Is this a network marketing? Is this a multi-level marketing? Is this an MLM? And there's so much. Is this direct sale, guys? We are all of that beside financial scam or financial pyramid, which are illegal in the United States and pretty much in majority of the world. So if somebody says, this is a pyramid, I would ask this question, the first question. Are you referring to the one that's illegal? Because if you're referring to the one to the illegal financial pyramid, I would never get involved in one of those because they're illegal. But I want to ask you a question. Why you ask that question? No matter what case, they say pyramid, network marketing, multi-level marketing, you always say, but I want to know why you ask that question. If they say, is this a network marketing? Yes, it's a network marketing. But why are you asking this question? Let them speak. If this is a multi-level market, yes, it's a multi-level market. Why are you asking this question? See, most people, they have been in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 companies before you contacting them. And most of those companies, they have never achieved any success. Or if they had very little success. Or if they had a lot of success, then that company went out of business. Or it was a scam or whatever situation was. They have a story. And most of the time, the story is not positive. They have that unforgiveness, that anger, that something that somebody took advantage of them. They were paying that monthly, or they paid that to get started, and they never made those money back. They have that story, and they need to let it out. Allow them to share that story. That's why when I ask, so why did you ask that question? Is there a story behind there? Ask and listen. And a lot of time they will start telling you, you know what? I've been into a couple businesses of these and I never make money. Okay, fantastic. Can you share the last business you've been in that you never made money with? And they'll tell you most likely the name of the business. They'll most likely even tell you who invited them in. They'll even talk how leaders made a lot of money, but they have not made. And you can start asking questions. But why do you think you have not made any money? And usually comes to 2 reasons. Oh, the company didn't work. The company only was interested in helping the people above. Or number 2, they might realize, oh, the leader or the person invited me, they didn't work with me, or they did not know how to help me. Very rarely the person will admit it was their fault because they didn't do anything.
You said it right.
But the problem is, you never want to tell them it was your fault. And you can say, and when they can say, you know what, it was the company fault. And I can say, you know what, I agree with you. Yeah, Melaleuca sometimes is like that. But And that's how I thought in the past myself. But over the years, I discovered something else. Melaleuca, like all the rest of the companies out there, they're interested in one, is to only move their product. And this is the form of business they chose to advertise their product. But I discovered that I was wrong. So you don't tell them you are wrong. You tell them, I discovered that I was wrong, blaming the company. I discovered that I never picked up a phone and never called anybody. I discovered that I never put effort into the self-development. So I never understood how to actually make the phone calls. I never understood what to actually say to people. I discovered that I never stick long enough for people to say yes. I discovered that I never found a leader in the company who would actually work with me. So when you start giving them 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 reasons what you discovered, why you failed, why you also failed, like they're failed, guess what just happened here? There's some jumping inside in their mind and in their stomach. Yay! I finally found somebody that actually going to help me. Yay! Do you guys understand what just happened? You never even said, hey, I'm going to help you. I'm going to be that leader. You just said, I discovered. By just saying what you discovered, you started selling yourself, saying, hey, I can help you not to fail again. I can help you become successful. And then from there you choose. Either help them draw a picture of where they want to be in 2, 3, 5 years, and then take that approach, or whatever approach is. But right now they're going to chase you because you just helped them to discover what you discovered. By just telling, hey, and then, as they listen to you, they're like, you know what? Yeah, it is true. I never found somebody to work with me. It is true. I never spent efforts into self-development and to actually get to know the business better. It is true. I never stuck around. It is true. I never came to the Zoom meetings. And they start realizing, wow, I have to do all these things. And then final thing that I want to tell you guys, every single person you talk to and they say yes, you create a folder. You put their name, you start writing down things you know about them, that type of conversations you had, and things they responded with. You start putting together their weaknesses and their strength. Because remember, you got them to say once. Now, if you get them to make money, no matter where you're going to go in life, that person will always follow you. And whenever they hit a hard time, whenever somebody says no and they're ready to quit, you can always open up their folder. You can go back and say, you know what? The second time we spoke, you said you had a dream. You wanted to have a home, 4 cars by that home. There was a airplane on a strip. There was a yacht by the lake. Your kids were happy. Your husband felt like he's on top of the world. You're ready to give all that up? I promise you I'll help you get there. You're ready to give that up? You're ready to take one no and say I'm done? Do you know that in order to achieve to this $4 million lifestyle, it doesn't take a one no. It takes about 1,000 no's. So if you're giving up on the first no, what are we going to do with the remaining 999? I need you to make the commitment today. You will go through 1,000 no's before the next time I hear from you. I'm done. I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore. And you start drawing a real picture in front of them. They draw a picture of their lifestyle. You start drawing a picture for them that it's not easy, but it's realistic to get there. You don't do that before they signed up. You do that when they start giving up, when they already signed up and it doesn't work. Then you start drawing the picture of realism. You start bringing reality. And that's where I always recommend for people that sign up and the first time they're having no success, I say, hey, go to my channel, and I send them a link to the GoPro with by Eric Mori, and I say, hey, listen to the book tonight, not tomorrow, not a week, on a weekend, tonight. It's a 4-hour book. After 4 hours, I want you to text me. You listened it to the end, and then we will choose a time to talk about the book. You start on their self-development. Remember, all of you guys want to make this beautiful money in network marketing. And most of you guys, as soon as they said yes, you're like, I'm done. Yay, I'm getting paid. No. Company paying you in advance. Now you need to, this is actually just the beginning of work. Now you need to put work in. And now, every single time that person that you work with and they start making sales, you're going to pay more, and you're going to make more, and you're going to make more. But the work is just begins when they signed up. Before that, that was just to get them on a team. But the real work, real self-development with them, real their growth. Remember, you just promised them a $4 million lifestyle in 4 years. If you promise me a $4 million lifestyle in 4 years, guess what? I'll hold you accountable for you to deliver, because you just promised to me. So right now you need to deliver. And same thing here. Right now, start working with them. Start nurturing them. Take them through their first steps of phone calls. Help them get those people to the meeting. Help them get those people signed up. Make sure they understand how to use the back office, how to get people signed up, how to move the money, how to the travel, how to actually book the travel. Help them understand. When you start having a team and people are growing, start recording videos so you can send them to the video instead of working one-on-one. And then only answer questions after they watch a video. You can say, hey, I'm going to send a video. Watch the video. If you don't understand the video the first time, watch it again the second time, the third time. If by the third time you still have questions, call me and I'll answer your questions. Then you work with a bigger team. You start working that way, because at the end of the day, your time is valuable. And right now you need to manage it wisely. But when you only have 1, 2, 3 people, put your efforts into it. So any questions? Is a pyramid, network marketing, multi-level marketing, direct sales, whatever it is. If it is, don't say no. Say yes, it is. And ask the question, why did you ask that question? 2 reasons. Either they have a bad experience and they're not interested, and right now we need to understand why, so we can help them understand why they're interested. Or the second reason, because they're looking for a network marketing company. And if you would have said, I do not know, no, it's not, then you just lost probably the biggest producer on your team. So never ever say no. Say yes, and then ask a question. Why they asked that question? What made them to ask that question? Because you want to get that story, and you listen to that story, because that story will give you a reason and a roadmap how to move forward with that person. Some people, when they ask a question, as soon as you answer that question correctly, they're ready to sign up. They don't care about the company. They just wanted to make sure that this is legal. Some people, that's step number 1 before they make the step number 2 decision. Do they want to move forward and learn more about the company? So when you resolve those questions, move forward. Because right now they gave you permission to move forward. That is simple. So mic is opened, and give questions, and I'll provide as much answers as I can. And I hope this training was not just informational, but life-changing. Right now, you'll apply it, use it, and have success.